Now, when we're talking about detention camps, if we go back to World War II, there are some common threads. They were always built near or within a railway station. There was always a hospital nearby. And again, you'll see here where they're being built in Australia, there is a hospital nearby and they're on or near the railway so that they can bring in thousands of people in railway carriages. Now, this is a terrible thing to say, but I'm asking the question, why are these people considering that they need to build detention camps in this country of Australia? The double tier razor wire is not around the stabling of railway carriages to keep there for security. On the contrary, actually, you will see in this report there is no razor wire to hold secure the stabling of carriages at the Robina one on the Gold Coast. In fact, there's 5 lines ready to stable railway carriages, but they are not under the same security as a section that has been set aside. You have a look with me. There's a lot of people that don't believe that there is any sinister scheme to build detention camps in Australia. And in particular, I showed you a report of one that's being built at Robina on the Gold Coast. I'm now going to show you and explain some of the things why we've concluded this from an aerial picture. Now, in this aerial shot of this detention camp, let me explain a couple of things. I'm pointing over here to a section in yellow. That is a complete border that has double 9-foot razor wire. That also has a new railway line coming in here to offload people. And over here, they can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 railway carriages and railway trains to stable them, as they put, to stable them as a storage. Now, ask the question, why is this sealed off, thoroughly sealed off with razor wire, speakers, lighting, and this is not fenced off with razor wire? We get people coming and writing in and they say, oh, but the razor wire is there for security. Well, okay, this is where they hold the trains in here. Why isn't there razor wire for security to look after all the trains that come in here? There's one more thing. This railway line that comes into there, if you go up to the back of this compound, it's totally sealed off. You come up to the back of these compounds, it's not sealed off. Now, there's one big reason to show from an aerial shot. This section is now prepared, ready to offload people out of trains for no other purpose but to detain them. Well, now, as you just saw, that is not a railway station where passengers will disembark and go and hop in their cars. As a matter of fact, there is no car park or facilities for parking any vehicles anywhere around where they're building this detention camp. And if you go over to where the Skill Park Stadium is, which is another thing that they've done in Europe, build these camps near a stadium, likewise, there is no parking anywhere around that particular complex. Now, we're looking at an area which is approximately 120 metres, at least 100 metres long by about 50 metres wide. It's an area that can accommodate at least 6,000 to 10,000 people at any one time. If you look at the walls here, It'd have to be the most glorified, beautiful railway stabling area that you could ever see. Look at the amount of money, look at the cost involved here to camouflage it so that we would not be a wake-up to what they are doing. As you can see, the top section is compressed, expanded steel mesh, 4.5 mil. That's prison standard. You cannot get in or out without heavy equipment. And up the top, as you can see, it's got the double rows of wire. And if you look carefully at all of the cameras, you'll see that they are pointed along the perimeter. They are not pointed or focused on the people inside the compound. On the contrary, they're worried about people trying to escape. That's the way the cameras are set up. And as you can see, there's no way possible for human beings, they'll be in their mums, dads and children, there's no way they can escape. But they have the security trained on them to make sure that they don't escape. There's a close-up of the 4.5mm heavy-duty prison standard steel that you can't cut through unless you have heavy equipment to do that. Now, to get to this compound, you have to walk through a paddock. There's no road into it here, and as you can see, that's about 120 metres long, and there's the complete and total mural adorning every inch of it all the way along. Now, over a year ago, I gave you a report on the FEMA detention camps in America. You're looking at on your screen a fella called Fugit. He is a hand-picked man to look after FEMA all over the world. Now, he's sent out to Australia. A fella there that you can see on your screen, his name is Bob Jensen from FEMA USA. And he's talking there to an SES director. He came out here to Australia to talk to all of our security people, our military, our police, and at the time I couldn't work out what are we having a fellow called Bob Jensen from FEMA coming out here to tell us how we should look after our people. And now it's all unfolding. We now know the reason why. He would have given them the blueprint of what they have in plan to do. And when you look at the way they styled the detention camps all overseas, in Europe and in America, 850 in America, you will see they are all near a railway line or on a railway line. They are encompassing with a sports stadium or sports arena, and they are generally near a hospital, and they are all heavily guarded with razor wire. So now we know the reason why this fella came to Australia. Now, we have been told that Janet Napolitano, the head of Homeland Security in America under Obama, is going to come to visit Australia with this Fugit fella that's in charge of FEMA. Well, I've got one question about that. What for? We do not need FEMA from America to come to this country and tell us, one, that we have a security problem, because we don't. Two, if we do have a security problem, it's because of what they cause. And three, we'll look after our own people, our own way. We do not need them to come to this country and tell us how we should build detention camps to lock people up. But now, just like myself, we find it difficult to believe in Australia that the Minister for Transport would allow what's going on, or the Prime Minister, or the Deputy Prime Minister. So one of our friends contacted the Minister for Transport and asked the question, what is going on out at these, what looks like a detention camp? And of course, I said to this person, you're not going to get a truthful answer, because you won't get any truthful answer from something from the government, something that they're trying to hide. But anyway, he went and asked the question. Here's their reply. And this is from the Minister of Transport's office. The Robina West stabling yard was opened just over a year ago to accommodate the additional trains needed to service the Gold Coast with the opening of Varsity Lake Station. Stabling yards are equipped with a range of security measures, including barbed security tape to protect Queensland rail property. Please don't hesitate to contact me should you require any further information, and it's signed Justine Scarp. Now let me say from the beginning of this report, the rail lines that stable the empty carriages is not under any kind of security like razor wire whatsoever. Now that concludes this section of the report. There's going to be several more reports because we do know that there's over 20 of them built in Australia. My message to you and to every politician in this country is find out where they are. Track down the railway lines. Have a look behind in the railway and the goods yards. Have a look around where they end. Have a look around where there is a sports ground or a stadium. And if it's near a hospital, have a good look around. You're going to find them. And when you do find them, you make sure you contact your politician in your area.